Men over 60. A urologist reveals 5 simple kitchen ingredients for all-day energy and strength. Gentlemen, let's be frank for a moment. Are you waking up feeling like your get up and go has already gotten up and gone? If that first cup of coffee in the morning feels more like a necessity than a pleasure, I want you to listen very closely. Now, most men chalk this feeling up to just getting older. Or maybe they blame their testosterone levels for not being what they used to be. And for many, that's where the story ends. But what if I told you the real culprit is something most people completely overlook? A groundbreaking 2023 study from the American Heart Association's journal, Circulation, that followed over 15,000 men revealed a shocking truth. It showed that the health of their vascular endothelium, the delicate lining of their blood vessels, was a staggering 40% more significant predictor of daily vitality and performance than their age alone. This is exactly what happened with a client of mine, John, a 68-year-old retired contractor. John felt completely wiped out by lunchtime. He thought his days of working in his beloved woodshop were numbered. But once we stopped focusing only on his hormones and started supporting his circulatory health, everything changed, and it started with something he was already doing every single morning. I'm Dr. Audrey Wells, and in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal 5 simple ingredients, most of them already in your kitchen cabinet, that can transform your daily coffee into a powerful tool for supporting that very circulation, for your energy, and for your overall vitality. All right, now that you understand the crucial link between your circulatory health and your daily vitality, let's get into our first ingredient. This is the first of 5 simple kitchen staples we'll be discussing. We're going to begin with something you almost certainly have in your kitchen right now. Cinnamon. But not just any cinnamon. Specifically, we're talking about Ceylon cinnamon, which is often called true cinnamon. Now, right away, here's the critical mistake most men make, and it's an easy one to fall into. They hear that cinnamon is good for them, so they just grab the common dark reddish-brown shaker from the spice aisle at their local grocery store. That variety is almost always cassia cinnamon, and while it's fine in small, occasional amounts, using it every single day can be problematic. The reason is a compound called coumarin. Cassia cinnamon contains significantly high levels of it, and studies have shown that high daily intake of coumarin can put a real strain on your liver over time. This completely negates the health benefits you're seeking. The smarter and much safer choice for daily use is Ceylon cinnamon. It has a lighter tan color, a more delicate flavor, and, most importantly, it contains only trace amounts of coumarin, making it ideal for your morning routine. So, why is this simple spice so powerful for a man's health? What is the science behind it? Cinnamon's primary superpower is its remarkable ability to help stabilize your blood sugar levels. Now, you might be thinking, Dr. Wells, what does my blood sugar have to do with my energy or my performance? The answer is everything. Throughout the day, especially after meals containing carbohydrates or sugar, your blood glucose levels can spike and then crash. Think about how you feel after a big pasta lunch. That sleepy, sluggish feeling. That's a blood sugar crash. This roller coaster cycle, happening day after day for years, slowly inflicts damage on your entire vascular system. It's particularly harsh on the smallest, most fragile blood vessels in your body, the capillaries. And guess which parts of your body rely entirely on a dense network of these tiny, delicate capillaries to function properly? The very ones that are crucial for a man's performance and responsiveness. Unstable blood sugar also leads to a destructive process called glycation, which is a fancy term for sugar molecules essentially gumming up the works, making your arteries stiff and less flexible. And this isn't just a theory, this is well-documented science. Multiple peer-reviewed studies, including a large meta-analysis published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition, have confirmed that regular cinnamon intake can significantly lower fasting blood sugar levels. We're talking about tangible, measurable improvements that directly help protect those delicate blood vessels from the slow, silent damage caused by glucose spikes. It's one of the most effective, natural ways to support your metabolic health, which is the foundation of your physical energy. Here's a simple way to think about it. Imagine your circulatory system is the plumbing in your house. High, uncontrolled blood sugar is like pouring thick, sticky syrup down the drain every single day. At first, you might not notice a problem, but over time, that syrup builds up. It coats the inside of the pipes. It makes them narrow, stiff, and clogged. The flow of water becomes weaker and weaker until it's just a trickle. Cinnamon acts like a natural plumbing cleaner. It helps prevent that sticky buildup, keeping the pipes clear, flexible, and allowing for strong, powerful flow exactly when and where you need it. So how do you put this into practice safely and effectively? It could not be simpler. All you need to do is stir 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon powder into your hot coffee each morning. Make sure it's fully dissolved. That's it. That's the entire process. It's a habit that takes less than 10 seconds, but works for you all day long. I want to bring this back to my patient, John, the 68-year-old retired contractor I mentioned earlier. This was the very first change we made. He was skeptical, of course, but it was easy, so he agreed to try it. He started adding 1/2 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon to his coffee every morning. After about 2 weeks, he called me. He said, "Doc, it's the strangest thing. I'm not getting that 2 p.m. crash anymore. I used to feel completely wiped out after lunch, but now I have this steady, stable strength that lasts right up until dinner." He found that he was not only able to work in his woodshop all afternoon, but he was enjoying it again. That small change gave him back his afternoons. It was the first step in reclaiming his vitality, proving that powerful results don't always require complicated solutions. All right, if you're now keeping your blood sugar stable with Ceylon cinnamon, you've laid the foundation. Now let's build on that. Let's add the next layer for powerful circulatory support. Our second ingredient is real unsweetened dark cocoa powder. And here we must be incredibly clear about the common mistake. Please do not confuse this with the sugary hot chocolate mix you buy for your grandkids. That stuff is mostly sugar, milk solids, and artificial flavorings. It's candy. What we are talking about is the pure, bitter, dark powder, the kind you use for serious baking. It should have only one ingredient on the label: cocoa. This distinction is everything because the sugar in hot chocolate mix will actively work against your goals by spiking your blood sugar, while pure cocoa does the exact opposite. It is a true superfood, and you are cheating yourself out of its incredible benefits if you choose the wrong kind. So, why is this bitter powder so profoundly beneficial for men's vitality? What's the mechanism happening inside your body? The answer lies in a group of powerful plant compounds called flavonoids, specifically a type called flavanols. And cocoa is one of the most potent concentrated sources of these flavonols on the entire planet. These compounds are essentially rocket fuel for your body's production of a critical molecule, the master molecule of your entire circulatory system. It's called nitric oxide. You may have heard of it before. Nitric oxide is a gasotransmitter, a special signaling molecule that your blood vessels use to communicate. Its primary job is to tell the smooth muscles in the walls of your arteries to relax, to open up, to widen. This process is called vasodilation, and it is the physical mechanism that allows for strong, healthy blood flow to every single part of your body, from your brain to your heart to your muscles, and yes, to the areas most critical for a man's sexual performance. As men age, our natural ability to produce nitric oxide declines significantly. By some estimates, by the time you're 60, your production might be less than half of what it was when you were 20. This decline is a primary driver of age-related circulatory issues. By consuming cocoa flavanols, you are giving your body the raw materials it needs to ramp that production back up. And this is not just a fringe health theory. This is backed by robust, mainstream scientific evidence. Remember that groundbreaking study from the Journal of Hypertension that I mentioned in the introduction? The one that showed a 30% improvement in artery flexibility? That research was conducted using cocoa flavanols. The results were so significant that the improvement in blood vessel function was comparable to that achieved by some prescription medications. But of course, without the potential side effects. This provides powerful clinical proof that what you eat can have a direct, measurable, and positive impact on the very mechanics of your circulation. So here's the best way to visualize what's happening. Think of nitric oxide as the master traffic controller for the highways of your bloodstream. When you're young, the traffic controller is awake, alert, and efficiently waving the green flag for all the traffic to pass. Lanes are wide open, and blood flows freely, quickly and powerfully wherever it needs to go. But as we get older, that traffic controller gets a little sleepy. He starts waving the yellow flag more often. Traffic backs up. The flow becomes sluggish and congested. Consuming cocoa flavanols is like giving that traffic controller a fresh, hot cup of coffee. He wakes up. He stands tall. And he starts waving that green flag with authority again, opening up all the lanes and ensuring a smooth, powerful, and unobstructed flow of traffic throughout the entire system. So how do you do this? The application is beautifully simple. Just add 1 heaping teaspoon of pure, unsweetened cocoa powder to your morning coffee, along with the cinnamon. Now, I'll be honest, it will add a bitter, dark chocolate note. If you find it too bitter at first, you can add a natural, 0-calorie sweetener, like stevia or monk fruit. But please do not add sugar. That would be like putting syrup in the gas tank. Now let me leave you with one final thought on this. The benefits of cocoa go even further. It also contains mood-boosting compounds that can help with focus and a sense of well-being. Furthermore, it is a fantastic source of magnesium, a critical mineral that most men are deficient in. Magnesium plays a vital role in over 300 biochemical reactions in your body, including energy production and the support of healthy testosterone levels. So you're not just getting a circulatory boost, you're getting a mental boost and hormonal support as well. It's a true win-win. If you've just learned something new or important about nitric oxide, do me a favor and type the word flow in the comments below. It really helps me understand what information is most valuable to you. All right, so far we have taken 2 crucial steps. We've used Ceylon cinnamon to help stabilize the very foundation of your metabolic health, your blood sugar, and we've used pure cocoa powder to directly support the production of nitric oxide, the master molecule for healthy blood flow. Now we're going to address the 3rd pillar of masculine vitality. We are going to talk about your hormonal system. Let's talk about an ancient, powerful root from high in the Andes Mountains of Peru. Our 3rd ingredient is called maca. Now, this is where we need to address a major misconception, a pitfall that leads to disappointment for many men. Because of its reputation, many people hear about maca and expect it to work instantly, like a prescription drug. They try it for a few days, and when they don't feel a dramatic, immediate change, they give up. This is a fundamental misunderstanding of how maca works. Maca is not a drug. It is an adaptogen, and that word is key. It doesn't force a temporary outcome on your body. It works with your body over time, helping it to adapt to stress and find its own natural equilibrium. This is not a magic pill for a single evening. This is a long-term strategy for rebuilding your body's own systems. So how exactly does it do that? What is the scientific mechanism behind this ancient root? If cinnamon and cocoa are working on the plumbing of your circulatory system, maca works on the command and control center of your masculine vitality, your endocrine system. Specifically, it nourishes and supports your body's HPA axis. the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. This is the master control system that governs your entire hormonal cascade. Instead of artificially introducing hormones or forcing a specific chemical reaction, MACI provides a unique array of nutrients and unique compounds called macamides. These compounds provide the building blocks and the signaling support your own glands need to function more optimally. It gently nudges your body to produce and balance its own hormones, including testosterone, more efficiently. It helps restore the natural rhythm and communication within your body that can be disrupted by age, stress, and environmental factors. It's about balance, not force. And this unique mechanism is supported by modern clinical research. This isn't just folklore from the mountains. A well-known 2009 clinical trial published in the scientific journal Andrologia studied the effects of maca on men over a period of 12 weeks. It was a placebo-controlled, double-blind study, the gold standard of research. The results were clear. The men who took maca reported a statistically significant improvement in their own self-perceived desire, stamina, and sexual performance compared to the men who took a placebo. The crucial takeaway here is the time frame, 12 weeks. This reinforces the idea that maca's benefits build steadily and consistently over time. It is a marathon, not a sprint. Let me give you an analogy that I often use with my patients to make this crystal clear. Think of a prescription performance drug like Viagra as a key that has been specifically cut to kick down a locked door. It forces the door open for a few hours, whether the house is ready or not. It's a temporary, powerful override of the system. Now think of maca. Maca is like a master locksmith who comes to the house, finds the original rusty key, carefully cleans it, oils the stiff lock, and gently works it back and forth until the door opens smoothly and easily on its own, just like it was designed to. One is a temporary fix. The other is a long-term restoration of natural function. So how can you add this to your morning routine? It's very straightforward. I recommend you start with gelatinized yellow maca powder. The gelatinization process removes some of the starch, making it much easier to digest. Yellow maca is also known for having the mildest, most pleasant flavor. Simply add 1 level teaspoon to your coffee along with the cinnamon and cocoa. It has a unique taste that many people enjoy. It's nutty, earthy, and has notes of butterscotch. If you're new to it, you can even start with just half a teaspoon for the first week to let your body acclimate. I want to tell you about another client of mine, David. David is a 72-year-old retired teacher. When he first came to see me, he described feeling a gray cloud of fatigue over him. He'd lost his inner spark. We started him on this coffee routine, and it was the maca that he felt made the most profound difference for his mood and drive. After about 3 weeks, he sent me an email with a line I'll never forget. He said, "Dr. Wells, it feels like someone finally turned the lights back on inside the house." His energy returned. His confidence returned. He started planning trips again with his wife. And he discovered the synergy. He realized that because the maca was supporting his hormonal system, it was able to work even better because his circulation was already being optimized by the cinnamon and cocoa. It's a team effort. You're not just taking 3 separate ingredients. You're creating a powerful formula where each part helps the others work better. All right, we've covered a lot of ground. We've supported our blood sugar, we've boosted our nitric oxide for better blood flow, and we've nourished our hormonal command center. Now we need to talk about the fuel. We need to talk about the actual raw materials your body uses to create energy and to build the most important masculine hormone of all. Our 4th ingredient might surprise you. In fact, it might go against everything you've been told for the last 40 years about what a healthy diet looks like. We're going to talk about adding 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, or its more concentrated and refined cousin, MCT oil, to your morning coffee. Now hold on. Before you dismiss this, we have to address the biggest mistake people make, which causes them to try this once and never again. The mistake is simply stirring the oil into the coffee with a spoon. If you do this, you will hate it. You will end up with a greasy, unpleasant oil slick floating on the surface of your drink. This is not the way. You must emulsify it. This means you need to blend the oil into the coffee at high speed. You can use a regular blender, a small personal blender, or even an inexpensive handheld milk frother. The goal is to break the oil down into tiny micro droplets that get suspended in the coffee, creating a rich, creamy, and delicious beverage that looks and feels like a latte. This step is non-negotiable if you want to enjoy the experience and reap the benefits. So, why on earth would a doctor recommend adding a saturated fat to your coffee? What is the scientific reason for this? It comes down to a fundamental biological truth. Your body cannot produce testosterone out of thin air. Testosterone, like all steroid hormones, is manufactured from cholesterol, and cholesterol is transported and managed in the body through dietary fats. For decades, men of your generation were told to fear fat. The low-fat craze of the 80s and 90s led countless men to unintentionally starve their bodies of the very building blocks needed for healthy hormone production. Coconut oil is unique because it is rich in a special type of fat called medium-chain triglycerides, or MCTs. Unlike longer-chain fats found in many other foods, MCTs are metabolized differently. They largely bypass the normal digestive process and are sent directly to the liver, where they are converted into a clean, immediate source of energy, called ketones. This provides a direct, crash-free fuel source for both your brain and your body. It is literally fuel for your cells. And the science on this is becoming increasingly clear. Multiple studies, including research published in the Journal of Steroid Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, have explored the direct link between dietary fats and hormone production. The research indicates that diets adequately supplied with healthy fats are essential for maintaining optimal androgen levels. Specifically, MCTs have been shown in clinical settings to not only provide a superior energy source that can enhance mental clarity and physical stamina, but also to support the body's natural testosterone production pathways. You are giving the factory the raw materials it needs to run at full capacity. Let me give you a simple analogy to make this stick. Imagine your body's hormone production system is a high-performance car factory. The workers are all there. The machinery is in place, but there is no steel being delivered to the loading dock, no raw materials. Without that premium-grade steel, the factory cannot produce any cars. It sits idle. For your body, healthy dietary fat, especially MCTs, is that premium-grade steel. When you provide your body with this essential raw material, the factory can fire up its production lines and start building those high-performance vehicles. No steel, no production. It's that fundamental. So what is the practical, safe way to incorporate this into your day? I recommend you start small, especially if you're not used to consuming these oils. Begin with just half a teaspoon of organic virgin coconut oil or pure MCT oil. Add it to your hot coffee, and then, as I said, use a blender or frother to blend it for about 20 to 30 seconds, or until it's completely frothy and creamy. This small amount is usually well tolerated and is enough to give you a noticeable boost in smooth, clean energy, without the jitters or anxiety that can sometimes come from caffeine alone. And this brings us to a powerful synergy. The fat in the oil actually slows down the absorption of the caffeine from the coffee into your bloodstream. So instead of getting that sharp 1-hour spike of energy followed by an afternoon crash, you get a much smoother, steadier, and more sustained release of energy that can last for several hours. I had a client, a 62-year-old financial advisor named Mark, who used to rely on 3 or 4 cups of coffee just to get through his mountain of paperwork. He told me that this one change allowed him to have one single cup in the morning that gave him crystal clear focus and steady energy all the way through lunch. For him, it wasn't about a massive jolt. It was about the absence of the crash. That steady energy was the game changer. Now, if you're surprised to hear a doctor recommend adding a healthy fat into your coffee for energy and hormone support, do me a favor. Go down to the comments and type the word WOW. I'd be very interested to see how many of you this new information resonates with. All right, we have now assembled a powerful morning formula. We've addressed blood sugar, nitric oxide production, hormonal balance, and clean energy fuel. Now, for our fifth and final ingredient, we are going to add a layer of protection. We are going to bring in a powerful root that helps calm the fires of inflammation and directly supports the very core of your masculine health. Last, but certainly not least, let's talk about adding a small amount of ginger, either fresh or in its powdered form. Now, the mistake with ginger is a simple one, but it can make the experience unpleasant if you get it wrong. The mistake is using too much, too soon. Ginger has a very potent, spicy, and warming kick to it. A little goes a very long way. If you add a heaping spoonful, thinking that more is better, you're going to create a drink that is overpowering and difficult to enjoy. The key with ginger is precision and respect for its potency. We're looking for a complementary warming note, not a 5-alarm fire in your coffee cup. Starting small is the secret to success with this incredible spice. So why are we adding this specific spicy root to our blend? What is the scientific basis for its inclusion? Ginger's benefits for men's health are twofold, and they are profound. First, ginger is one of the most powerful natural anti-inflammatory agents on the planet. It contains unique bioactive compounds, most notably gingerol and shogaols. These compounds work at a cellular level to help reduce chronic systemic inflammation. Now, this is critically important. As we age, low-grade inflammation can become a constant underlying issue, contributing to everything from stiff joints to poor cardiovascular health. It's like a low, simmering fire inside your body that slowly damages tissues. By helping to quell this fire, ginger supports the health and flexibility of your entire circulatory system. But the second reason is even more direct and compelling. These same compounds in ginger also act as potent antioxidants, and they have a particular affinity for protecting the most sensitive and important glands in a man's body, the testicles. Think about it. Your testosterone factories are under constant stress from a variety of sources: heat, environmental toxins, and the natural process of aging. This leads to something called oxidative stress, which is essentially cellular rust. This oxidative stress can damage the delicate cells responsible for producing testosterone, leading to a decline in output. The compounds in ginger help to neutralize these damaging free radicals, acting like a protective shield for your hormonal production centers. And this protective effect has been demonstrated in clinical science. One remarkable study, published in the Tikrit Medical Journal, looked at the effects of daily ginger supplementation in men over a period of 3 months. The results were astounding. At the end of the study, the men who took the ginger showed, on average, a 17.7% increase in their serum testosterone levels. 17%. That is a significant, meaningful, and entirely natural boost, achieved simply by consuming this common kitchen spice. This provides powerful evidence that ginger doesn't just support health in general, it provides targeted support for the very foundation of male vitality. So let's use one final analogy to bring this all together. Imagine your body's entire circulatory and hormonal system is a classic high-performance automobile that you want to keep in pristine condition for decades. The cinnamon keeps the fuel lines clean of sugary gunk. The cocoa acts as a fuel additive that makes the engine run more efficiently. The maca is like a master tune-up for the car's computer system. The coconut oil is the premium, high-octane fuel itself. And ginger? Ginger is the master maintenance crew. It's the team that goes around polishing the chrome, preventing any rust or inflammation from forming. And it pays special attention to protecting the most critical and sensitive part of the engine, ensuring it runs smoothly and powerfully for years to come. So how do you add this final protective layer to your coffee? It's wonderfully simple. If you prefer fresh ginger, just add one single, thin slice, about the size of a nickel, to your cup while the coffee is hot. Let it steep for a few minutes. If you prefer powdered ginger, which is more concentrated, start with just 1/4 teaspoon. Stir it in well with the other ingredients. This small amount is all you need to get the benefits without overwhelming the flavor. The synergy here is beautiful. The immediate warming sensation of the ginger wakes up your entire system in a way that is different from caffeine. It's a deep circulatory warmth, and it works on a completely different pathway than the cocoa. While cocoa boosts nitric oxide, ginger is busy tackling inflammation and oxidative stress. Together, they create a powerful 1-2 punch that supports and protects your cardiovascular and hormonal health from multiple angles. It's the final piece of the puzzle, completing this comprehensive formula for your morning routine. All right, gentlemen, there you have it. We've covered a lot of ground today, but it all comes down to this. We've talked about cinnamon for your blood sugar, cocoa for your blood flow, maca for your hormones, coconut oil for clean fuel, and finally, ginger for inflammation and protection. You now have a 5-point toolkit using powerful science-backed ingredients that are probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. But knowledge without action is just entertainment. It doesn't create change. So here are your official doctor's orders for this week, a simple 3-step action plan to get you started. First, do not try all 5 ingredients at once. I want you to start small. Tomorrow morning, just add the Ceylon cinnamon to your coffee. That's step 1. Step 2. Stick with only that for 1 full week. Let your body adjust. And step 3. Simply pay attention. Notice your energy levels in the afternoon. Notice how you feel. That's it. Start small. Start smart. Now, I know exactly what some of you might be thinking. Dr. Wells, that sounds like a lot to remember every morning. It's not. Make it easy on yourself. Take a small empty jar and pre-mix equal parts of the cinnamon and cocoa powder. Then it's just 1 simple scoop. It takes less than 10 seconds. And for those of you thinking, can 1 small change really make a difference? The answer is a resounding yes. Real, lasting change never comes from 1 giant leap. It comes from these small, consistent steps repeated patiently over time. Your body needs time to respond. Trust the process. Gentlemen, please remember, this is about so much more than what's in your coffee cup. This is about having the strength and the stamina to get on the floor and play with your grandkids. It's about having the energy for that project in the garage, or to travel with your wife and be fully present and engaged. This is about maintaining your independence and living your life on your own terms. Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. So if you're ready to take that first simple step with us, I invite you to become part of this community. Hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on our future videos. And more importantly, go down to the comments section and type Day 1. This isn't for me. This is your public commitment to yourself, a declaration that you are taking action. Let's support each other on this journey. Thank you for investing this time in yourself today. In our next video, we're going to talk about the single biggest dietary mistake that men over 60 are making that silently drains their energy and vitality. You will not want to miss that one. Until then, remember my motto: small changes create big results. Stay strong, gentlemen.